What it do, ladies and gentlemen. We back in the communication station with your host, Schwetzy in the building, Schwetzy on the beat, Schwetzy with your bitch, Schwetzy in the sheets. All right, let's get this shit. Now, today what we talking about is it's not about what you have, it's about what you are. You get what I'm saying? So for example, in life we'll have a lot of situations where people will try to, like I've talked about previously, people will try to express some formulation of mental authority over you or outward authority over you, as far as they make more money than you at the moment, or they in a position where they feel like their opinions mean more than what your opinions mean, or your worldview mean more, or whether it may not even be opinion, it might be some factual shit that you stating to people at the moment, but based upon how things are constructed at the moment and how people are placing value on certain things that don't necessarily deserve value. You get what I'm saying? You might be in a position where you getting looked down on for these things. You get what I'm saying? And what a lot of people need to take into consideration is, like the title of the video say, it's not about what you have, it's about what you are at the end of the day. You get what I'm saying? So you might be a person who's in a position where they lacking a lot of money or fundage at the moment. You get what I'm saying? But what you're missing out on is the fact that if you not already being it, you supposed to be that money. And if you are already being it, you might find yourself in positions where you either expressing it incorrectly, or you just not having enough belief in what it is that you into. You get what I'm saying? Because if you can actually be the money, you'll have situations where the money won't matter. You get what I'm saying? Or you'll find yourself in positions where you get what I'm saying? You don't necessarily need money to make it type shit. You don't necessarily need money to make shit happen, as far as what it is that you're trying to make happen, or the shit just get taken care of for you on in certain situations and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So we gotta be what it is we what we looking for, and what it is that we feel like we lacking at the moment. You get what I'm saying? So if you feel like you the man, but the environment constantly trying to downplay this shit, this might be where you need to take a look at your belief systems and see where you might be falling short and shit like that. But don't get it fucked up though, because there's always going to be situations where people are going to try to shake that shit until there's like a physical representation of why you are the man, as far as fucking being in some type of position that is backed and supported by some formulation of shadow government control, or some formulation of some type of Masonic magic square that they've constructed for people to be in. You get what I'm saying? So if you're not in a position like that, you can be sitting here doing shit completely like Indian underground and making a living off of that shit, and completely being your own individual thing. You know what I'm saying? That people doing it a whole type of new way and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? But a lot of people aren't really going to acknowledge the shit or respect it due to it not being constructed in a format, or you not being like underneath like a label or some shit like that, or some shit like this. You get what I'm saying? And that's just one example. It play out in so many different ways. If you're a person who, for example, starting your own business or some shit, and you just purely being able to go out into the world and sell your products like face to face type of shit, or some shit like that, or it's just some shit that not a lot of people have heard of yet, you making more than enough money to get by. You get what I'm saying? So you the man in that business sense. You get what I'm saying? You'll still have people who are trying to knock that and say that it's not really sustainable, or it's not something that have a level of importance, just because you're not, you know what I'm saying, like fucking correlated with some formulation of a corporation that owns multiple locations across the whole US or some shit. Or it's just not some shit that you know what I'm saying, you not sponsoring no NFL games and fucking NBA teams and baseball teams and shit like that. So you know what I'm saying, people by default ain't gonna respect this shit, or ain't gonna acknowledge it. Even if they do respect it, they're not gonna necessarily acknowledge it, because you're not expressing something that's within the norm of what's been constructed, as far as how you're supposed to do things, and when you've reached a certain level and shit like that, how your shit is supposed to outwardly be presented and how it's supposed to look. You get what I'm saying? There's a lot of ways that this shit has been constructed as far as image and how the shit is supposed to look and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So if you're doing something that's outside of what that character is that's being represented by a majority of the world, if it's outside of that, it's not going to be acknowledged as much as somebody who's able to get in there and fucking not ruffle feathers as much, or is able to go through these situations and kind of like lay in the snake's den type of situation. You get what I'm saying? Even if they doing it for the right reasons, and you know what I'm saying, if it even is possible to do some shit like that for the right reasons. You get what I'm saying? But if they are doing it for the right reasons and shit, you get what I'm saying? It's still they still had to go through all that Masonic shit. But yeah, these people will be acknowledged much faster than somebody who is doing shit outside the norm, because it don't make sense to them at the end of the day, because there's never been somebody in life who has given the example of a different way of going about things. You get what I'm saying? Because everyone who has ever made it in business and shit like that it's all correlated to some shadow government shit. Either that, or it's been somebody who's done it like the indie way and done it all themselves, but eventually end up selling out to a bigger corporation like fucking Walmart or some shit like that. You get what I'm saying? Like a bigger company always end up buying out the smaller companies and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So if you're not doing it in that type of manner, and you're not expressing that, or you're not coming and laying $10,000 down on your fucking mother, sister, cousin, uncle's table and shit like that, and actually physically showing it to them and shit like that, then it's not gonna make sense to them, and they just gonna think that you on bullshit. You get what I'm saying? And so yeah, this is where we gotta put the value in on our end. You get what I'm saying? And do the energy work as far as being the example for that. You get what I'm saying? Because like I've spoke about previously, the shit reverberate from within you. You get what I'm saying? So the environment's going to reflect it back to you, and you're going to know what type of position you in, and what to go further into and what not to interact with as much based upon this. You get what I'm saying? So it's not about what you have at the moment, it's about what you are. You get what I'm saying? So don't get tripped up just because, and start like being super negative and down on yourself just because you're not where you want to be at the exact moment. You get what I'm saying? You where you're supposed to be at the moment. So you got to make do with what you got in the here and now. You get what I'm saying? So whether you got to be the example for the shit of what you see as far as lack and shit like that, then that's what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? You can't be caught up in the physicality of it as far as not having this or that. You get what I'm saying? But also don't be delusional and miss the basis of reality and shit like that. Like don't be delusional and still forget about the third dimension, and forget about whatever you have developed and accumulated as far as responsibilities and bills that you got to pay, children, mouths you got to feed and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So let's not lose touch with reality, but at the same time know that this shit is emanating and reflecting from an internal state of being. You get what I'm saying? So we gotta be whatever it is that we're trying to accumulate at the moment. Whether that's being the man, being the money, being the value that you need to see. You get what I'm saying? And the most important thing with this is confirmation, not only within yourself. You get what I'm saying? Because this is the thing. You got a peep game of it, and this is where your shadow work is going to come in really handy, because you're going to know in areas where you're tripping at, or where you're not doing enough, or where you're doing too much, or where you're creating a false sense of delusion and self-delusion and shit like that, as far as viewing yourself as something that you're not at the moment, and attaching certain energies and self-identifying with shit that's not you, and is not a part of your character at the end of the day. You get what I'm saying? And as you act on certain shit, you're gonna notice that. You get what I'm saying? If you're doing shit and it's still not giving you any type of return, as far as, and I don't mean just monetarily, but like giving you a return as like bolstering your momentum, fucking boosting up your passion towards whatever it is that you're into and shit like that. And 9 times out of 10, you know that you operating on like a fallacy, basically operating off of a false character that's not really in tune with your true state of being. So therefore, you get what I'm saying. You almost get annoyed that you have to do it continuously, and you've set it up in a routine and pattern to where it comes to where it becomes something that that you like set out to do every day, but you don't necessarily want to actually do it. You get what I'm saying? So be aware of this, and don't get caught up in the false characters that are gonna self dilute and give you more self delusion, and not have you in the right space of viewing things correctly from your point of view and shit like that. So you missing the point on everything as far as an expression and as far as what you interacting with in the environment. You get what I'm saying? There's no there's really no point of trying to apply these things physically if you're not out of your own internal hell and your own internal maze first. You get what I'm saying? If you're not a person who is able to realize these things within yourself, and the certain characters that you gravitate towards as far as what you would outwardly express and be into and shit like that. If you can't realize these things and keep it real with yourself and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Then there's no point for you to really get into testing these things out, because you're always going to have a skewed view of it. You get what I'm saying? You're always going to have a skewed view of it. It's going to be just like that video I was talking about previously, where I was talking about fucking self-reflection and shit like that. You're going to be self-reflecting onto the environment, and if you a person who play out like a lot of manipulative or narcissistic characteristics and shit like that, you might be a person who think that everybody hating on you and everybody trying to downplay your shit just because that you think that your shit don't stink at the moment. You get what I'm saying? But everything that you express, and just allow these people to view those parts of yourself that you haven't necessarily accepted quite yet, as far as you know what I'm saying, whenever you be out in public and you start to feel like low key subconsciously feel like whatever it is that you talking about don't really actually mean anything, or whatever, whatever bullshit that you're into at the moment, and whatever sense of pride that you gravitated towards to cover up some and utilized as like an ego to cover up some formulation of insecurity that you actually have deep down within yourself. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people be doing this shit where they develop some formulation of really positive energy to counteract whatever they're negatively feeling within themselves, as far as a lacking insecurity, a space where they're not like fully developed and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So you'll have people who develop these very overly positive and overly ambitious as far as confidence. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people take confidence and breed this into cockiness, and it become like overbearing whenever it's in certain areas and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So you will have somebody who really actually low key think that whatever that their opinion and shit like that don't actually have value. You get what I'm saying? And it may actually not. Or at the end of the day, it could have value, and they're just second guessing themselves and shit like that. But most of the time, it just be a person who their shit really don't have no value. So subconsciously, they know that, and they know their understanding is lacking. So they're going to be content with that, and instead of dealing with it head on, because for some reason humans like to take shortcuts and fucking cover up shit and shit like that. So instead of facing it head on and just dealing with it at the moment when it presents itself, and that opportunity right there when it presents itself, when you start to realize it and shit like that, instead of dealing with that, people would much rather numb the pain and cover it up with a false sense of confidence and a false sense of ego and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So it gets the lines get blurred, and you cover up what the real root cause of the issue is, and then you develop this overconfidence in certain areas where you think that you are the shit, but meanwhile you ain't the shit, and everybody just laughing at you low key. You know what I'm saying? So before we can be what we are, we need to get into situations where we actually figuring out what we are, who we are. You get what I'm saying? And that way, this can help you too whenever you're in a situation where you're trying to develop belief systems and shit like that, and routines and patterns and rituals as far as what spirituality is to you and your individuality and how you're supposed to approach things and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? That's gonna help us with this type of shit. So we got to do that before we can even get into a space where we can actually be expressing what we are at the end of the day. You get what I'm saying? So if you're a person who has actually gotten past all the ego and shit like that, and is not getting remixed by the world and shit like that, now you can actually be somebody who played this shit out. And another thing on the tip, when you still working about it, don't get lost into spiritual teachers and shit like that, and affirmations too. Like a lot of people be preaching affirmations and shit like that, and a lot of so-called spiritual teachers be preaching this shit where you basically just speaking positivity into yourself all the time. Like, yeah, that is a good thing, and yeah, certain people do need to have those reminders as far as an affirmation or something that they can repeat to themselves daily to help heal from certain things. But don't allow that to develop into a false sense of confidence, as I was speaking about. That's where a lot of this shit come from, because a lot of people be online and be watching certain people and be getting the lines blurred with shit as far as an expression, and as far as what you actually dealing with at the moment. You get what I'm saying? So don't get lost into just listening to people online and thinking that you need to be super positive with yourself. Like, yeah, that's part of it, but you need to be real with yourself at the end of the day. Like, don't be utilizing the positive elements and utilizing affirmations to cover up what it is that need to be worked on at the moment. You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of time when you realizing these things are being exposed to you as some formulation of a blockage or a flaw or some shit like that for a reason. You get what I'm saying? Because it's because you're underdeveloped in that area. And so now you need to start putting energy into that area and start fixing whatever the problem is. You get what I'm saying? And it's going to help reveal the root cause of the problem. And the more you get into a space of viewing it like, yes, this is an issue. You get what I'm saying? But have balance at the same time, though. Like, don't put yourself into a space where you're being bound by whatever it is that you're viewing as a fucking blockage or a problem for yourself, or an insecurity or some shit like that at the moment. Like for example, people saying they have like social anxiety and shit like that, or even if they don't didn't believe that they have social anxiety at first or some shit like that, they go into a doctor's office or a therapist, and they get diagnosed with social anxiety and shit like that. So whatever anxiety that they had before, whatever it was stemming from, whatever issues they had in the past, as far as whenever they would communicate with people in public, they would just get shut down in a really negative way due to old and outdated ways of thinking and feeling, and past life generational curses, situations that they was dealing with that they weren't understanding at that moment. You get what I'm saying? Whenever we're in these situations, we need to pay attention to this shit, because fuck, I forgot where I was going with that. I had a point based off that, though. Completely forgot what we was talking about. It just went one ear and out the other real quick. We'll find out, though. Oh yeah. So yeah, people will get diagnosed with social anxiety, but not knowing that it's due to all the shit from their past that's playing out in these certain type of ways. So whatever anxiety that they had initially, that they had already developed from past lifetimes and all the other shit that I was talking about, it's going to be amplified now, because you're viewing it in a light like, oh yeah, I have social anxiety. So some people use it as an excuse, and for some people it do kind of like make things better, because you like understanding aspects of yourself, and how you change in social interactions and shit like that. So it can be like comforting to some people, I would guess. I'm not sure, but then there's other people who purely just use it as a reason to develop more anxiety and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So a person who get diagnosed with this shit, if they're not like constantly using it as an excuse and bringing it up to you of why they can't fucking order food at the restaurant when y'all go out or some shit, you get like that, It'll be a person who utilizes this in many situations, like through work and other shit like this. Like they'll be like, yeah, I have social anxiety, like I can't, you know what I'm saying, like I can't do that. Or they'll just like I said, the anxiety will be amplified so that whenever they go through certain outward experiences and dealing with the realm of reality and public arena and shit like that, it's going to be a situation where they're going to like shut down even more. Whatever area was like extra sensitive whenever they move through public arena and dealing with certain people and shit like that, it's going to be amplified. So at any time, and a lot of time, you're going to be fixated on that aspect. You're going to be viewing the world through that lens due to somebody confirming it. And if you had already had thoughts like, man, damn, why am I always extra nervous when I'm about to go into the environment and communicate with people and shit like that? You get what I'm saying? If you had those type of thoughts beforehand, it's going to like confirm that. It's going to confirm that you have social anxiety. You get what I'm saying? So you're going to be viewing that through that lens. So whenever you go into public, it's going to be like even more a reason for why you need to just be quiet and not talk at the moment and not express your true self and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So that's how this shit play out a lot of the time. That's how this shit play out a lot of the time. You get what I'm saying? So we just need to be what we are. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, it's not about what you have, it's about what you are. You get what I'm saying? Because we see this all the time. There's certain people out there who have all the tools and means in the world and all the potential necessary to make some shit happen, but they squander that because they're not playing out true essence. They're not playing out their true character. You get what I'm saying? And they're not being who they truly are. So the money and that aspect is just being utilized to cover up some formulation of like they don't feel like they far enough ahead in their life, or they feel like they behind, and they feel like all the people in their age group and shit are ahead of them, whether that be mentally and emotionally, and they've been through more experiences and they're more developed in certain areas. So they've like kind of built up like brick layers and protective gartering systems around certain sensitivities that they have within their body and shit like that, as far as insecurities and emotional pitfalls and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So they might be viewing it like this. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of ways how this shit play out, but you get what I'm saying? A lot of time they be feeling like they behind. So a person feel like they gotta attack the career path and shit like that and go get a 9-to-5 job that can be considered a career, so that they can be more quote unquote stable than you, based on physical means and based on means that have been set in place by the shadow government and what it means to be stable, as far as you owning a house by the time you this certain age, or you know what I'm saying, or you already been working at this job for this many amount of years by this certain age, or having this certain amount of experience in a certain realm, depending upon whatever career path you going into by a certain age and shit like that. See what I'm saying? So this shit play out into a ton of different ways. You get what I'm saying? People are very mixed up when it comes to thinking that gaining some formulation of material shit is gonna make shit better. And that's the problem though. The way the world is so fucked up right now, the people who are doing this shit and supporting this system and upholding it for them and shit like that, these people will receive more support than a person who's truly doing some shit of true essence. Because like I told y'all before, the truth get punished in this world. So yeah, the truth get punished in this world. So be extra careful out here, and know know when you just doing something that's completely flunked, and that's why you not getting support at the moment, or realize that you doing something that actually has meaning and value and is actually something that's standing out and being different, and that's why people are choosing to not support you at the moment. You get what I'm saying? So don't think just because you know what I'm saying, you can quit your job or some shit, or you can fucking sit on your couch for 1,000 years and meditate every day and shit like that, that you doing something that's some formulation of some blazing type of energy and you being a unique individual or something. It's not always necessarily like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this shit be made up, for real. A lot of this shit be made up, fucking fake spirituality bullshit. And beyond that, we're also dealing with shadow government shit the whole time as well. You get what I'm saying? So you've got many realms and realities, and we also have people dealing with personal shit as well. That's what a lot of y'all are missing on. Like y'all, like the shit, that the information and the spirituality that y'all be regurgitating, like I said in the previous video, it'd be way too broad. So y'all not getting down to the personal nitty gritty root cause of issues and shit like that. Like you're not getting down to the personality of it and shit like that. You're not getting down to the characters of it. You're not viewing things properly. You get what I'm saying? And I hate saying that because I don't ever want to be the one to tell y'all what to do and what not to do. You get what I'm saying? But at a certain point, it's kind of like I damn near have to, based upon the words that we have to work with and shit like that. Like sometimes there's just no other way. You get what I'm saying? Like you have to get down to the personality of it. You have to get down to the nitty gritty specific aspects and how they align with you personally. You get what I'm saying? Otherwise, you're not going to ever see no true growth. And you're just going to be taking 100,000 hits of DMT and fucking 87 grams of magic mushrooms and sitting on your couch meditating all day and thinking that you're doing something. And all that served for is a mental transformation, because it's brain damage drugs at the end of the day. You get what I'm saying? And don't get it fucked up. All this shit do start internally. You gotta change your mindset. You gotta you know what I'm saying, have many mental and emotional deaths. You gotta learn how to separate yourself all the way down to the fucking separate of the most separatists. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, don't get caught up in delusions out here. You get what I'm saying? I see a lot of people getting caught up in delusions and trying to play out characters just because they think that that's gonna help them get somewhere and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we be having a lot of these spiritual teachers saying the same shit out here. These fake spiritual teachers who are saying, yeah, you gotta be whatever it is that you want to attract. Like, yeah, it's not wrong, but at the same time, if you don't even know who the fuck you are, you get what I'm saying? You can't just gravitate to a bunch of false characters and expect yourself to be able to uphold and maintain all that shit. You get what I'm saying? That shit ain't gonna do nothing but give you more depression and send you down like a darker, even deeper rabbit hole at the end of the day. You get what I'm saying? Because if you're not a person who actually is the character of money and value within yourself, you don't know where that character is, you don't know where to find it, you don't know how to express it and shit like that. Whenever you go through these situations where you're trying to play out the character of value or money and shit like that, and you displace yourself into a situation where money starts to become a trouble at the moment or some shit like that, and you're not able to get your 1-2 together as far as monetarily and shit like that, and you don't know no other way besides a Benjamin Franklin, and you don't know how to make shit shake whenever you in the fucking low list of the lows and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? If you're a person who doesn't know how to operate in these environments and you truly aren't the character of money and value and a reason why people should be behind you and supporting you monetarily at the moment or whatever it is that you need at the moment, you get what I'm saying? You're going to be a person who goes into a deeper, darker pit of depression, because you're going to be sitting back wondering, why the fuck isn't this working out for me and shit like that. Like, I'm being money. I'm being the, you know what I'm saying? I'm being the character of value at the moment. Like, why am I still not manifesting or accumulating some formulation of a low vibrational means or an actual physical dollar bill that I can hold in my hand to confirm what I'm talking about? You get what I'm saying? And that's because you're operating on a false character. It's not really you. You get what I'm saying? You're just gravitating towards it based off of based off of uh based off of what's been expressed to you, as far as you need to do these affirmations and speak positively, and you need to be what you're missing out on and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? But you're missing the point. There's some other character that you need to be acting out. Not everybody can be the value character. Not everybody can be the money character. Not everybody has access to that type of energy in a more sufficient manner that's going to make things flow for you correctly. There might be some completely other type of character that you need to act out that actually will help you get your accumulation together as far as money and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So we got to pay attention to these things. The lines get blurred a lot of times, and people be thinking this infinite gray areas all over the place and shit like that. And we can just express it, whatever the fuck character we want to, and we can just become whatever energy the fuck that we want to based on whatever we feel like we're lacking at the moment, and whatever fucking area we feel like we being negative on ourselves at the moment. It's not necessarily like that. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, we do got to utilize these energies a little bit. If you need a little boost in certain areas, you get what I'm saying? But you need to peep game of who you the fuck are and what your character is and what characters you need to be acting out in certain situations to help you get through that shit. You get what I'm saying? And if you're a person who's lacking on money right now, you need to pay attention. You need to learn means of not a Benjamin Franklin. You get what I'm saying? If you're a person, and let's say for example you've like lost your ID and your social security card, or you just super fucking flunked out super felonies and shit like that, so you can't get yourself a job right now at the moment. You get what I'm saying? And you've never been through situations like this before. This is a perfect opportunity for somebody like you to learn how to make shit shake without a Benjamin Franklin. You get what I'm saying? Because this is where the game get fucked up too. We got a lot of people out here who don't know nothing besides a Benjamin Franklin, and they don't know nothing besides having money and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? And utilizing that as a bartering and gain system and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So if you're a person who has that opportunity right now, yeah, it's a bit scary. You get what I'm saying? Because shit can get real fucking dark. You know what I'm saying? Real quick. Money is very important in this world. Don't get it wrong. But there's ways to make shit go without it. You get what I'm saying? So if you're a person like that, utilize that opportunity at the moment to figure out what character it is that you need to express that's going to help you get that support in some type of way. But let's pay attention to the game though, because you're not going to always get it, especially if you acting out the shit in the right type of aspect, in a truly angelic or higher octave type of aspect. You get what I'm saying? A lot of times you're not going to get the support at all. You know what I'm saying? And if you do, good for you. You know what I'm saying? If you do, good for you. But most people who actually do get support and are in a position to get support, who have been through similar things like me, who are expressing things in the same type of way like me, and are on the real type of spirituality and shit, 9 times out of 10 people like this don't even give a fuck about the confirmation at this point, and can give a fuck whether it got a view or a like or not. You get what I'm saying? Or whether it got this or that. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's greatly appreciated. Don't get it fucked up and think that we just assholes out here or some shit. No, it's greatly gratitude for all of it. You get what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's not necessary. You know what I'm saying? But don't get it fucked up. This is the shit we on, and this is the shit that's gonna continue to fund all this shit. You get what I'm saying? And this is the shit that's gonna make all of our livings and shit. We're gonna be getting our living situation off of this shit. You know what I'm saying? But don't get it fucked up. Anyways, though, that's done. I'm done for the night. Y'all take it easy. Peace.